I'm Brooke, Doctor of Physical Therapy at Cure for the Kids Foundation. It was mentally and emotionally exhausting, and that's the one thing that draws me so much to these kids, because not only being told on a day-to-day basis by doctors that you're crazy, or I literally went to Mayo Clinic when we were first figuring out a lot of this, and at Mayo Clinic they have you see an internist first and then you go to all the specialties. And the first internist I saw, he literally told me it's psychosomatic, this is all in your mind, and canceled every specialty appointment I had. And so then I ended up, with my gut, I knew he was wrong, and so I went and sat in the neurology department, and they told me, hey, we're sorry, we don't have any open appointments. And I sat there until they had a no-show, which was 5 or 6 hours later. And I talked to the neurologist. He put me in for a rush MRI that afternoon, and that evening he called me and was like, you know, you actually have a tumor pressing by your cerebellum. And he didn't seem too concerned about it. And then I ended up seeing another doctor, and I was in for my first brain surgery 2 weeks later. And unfortunately had a stroke after that first surgery, and because of that ended up having a couple more. And so it was just a bit of a whirlwind, and it's just frustrating because unfortunately in our medical system there's a lot of people who get overlooked or get ignored. Or I was a high-level athlete prior to that, so they kept, every time I'd see a doctor, they would look at me and be like, well, you look fine. So especially working in pediatrics and this age range, I never want any of our kids to feel like that, or to feel like they're just making things up, because there's so much more that goes into healthcare and medicine than just from how a person looks on the outside. So I got sick when I was in high school. I had a thyroid tumor and went through all of the treatment for that. And kind of ever since I was 15, 16, I was always still sick on and off after that. And anytime I saw a doctor, they just blamed it on, oh, it's your hormones, or you don't have hormones, or like doctors would make jokes and be like, you're just lucky you're going through menopause at an early age. And I'm like 18 years old, and I'm like, this isn't funny. Like, I can't function, I can't do the things I want to do. So it got very frustrating. And even being in San Francisco at UCSF, I was seeing amazing doctors and no one could figure out what was going on. And then it took one night, I was sitting on the couch and I couldn't get up. Literally from the waist down, I couldn't move. And so then at that point I was like, okay, it's not hormones, clearly. And so I ended up seeing a neurologist, and they ended up, one thing led to another, and 4 brain surgeries later, here I am.